Hello, fellow YouTubers. It's Operative back here of Gamers Roundtable. It's been a while since I've been on here and did a video, so just want to say sorry. Just the usual life stuff that prevented me from uploading lately, and let's go on with the show here. Right now, as you can see right now, and you can see from the background, I'm going to be talking about a revisiting of the Xbox. Not 360, the Xbox. The big, shiny black box by Microsoft. Now, the system was released in November of 2001, and later on was released in Japan and Europe later on in 2002. System to me was a pretty good system at the time. I was very skeptical about Microsoft entering the gaming market because it was just, it was one of those, why is big corporate trying to enter the gaming market, and most of all, why was Microsoft, mainly known as a software company, entering the gaming market? But I mean, obviously, they know as well as anyone else knows, and if you being a gamer, there's money in gaming, whether it's old, new, or just, present day gaming. It's just out of control how much money the game industry can make these days. But like I said, I was very skeptical about them entering into the system game, and I didn't know whether or not they really had what it takes. But I really think it was good for them to come in because it was good to shake up the status quo between Sony and Nintendo, and because Nintendo always had a stranglehold on the home console game, and I felt like there was room for more competition, especially when Sega went out of the console making a business, and it was pretty sad for me. And you can check my revisiting of the Dreamcast to talk about how it was a sad day when Dreamcast went out. But luckily, I feel as if that the Xbox here was the successor to that, because the stuff that Sega had planned during the time period, it seemed like Microsoft saw the blueprint, picked it up, and redesigned it, and just kept, they picked up the flag and just kept it flying, because it just pretty much, this is what the Dreamcast was pretty much like, and this is what I kind of imagined if Sega had a chance to go on into the gaming market, that this is what you would have ended up with, probably like somewhere in the Xbox realm. One thing you notice about the system, most of all, is how big the system is. It's pretty big. It's just no getting around it. You see this thing on your entertainment center on a coffee table. There's no mistaking in noticing the size of this thing. It's pretty hefty too. I don't remember the exact how many pounds this thing weighed, but as a bodybuilder, you feel like you can get a workout just moving it from room to room. To me, it's pretty crazy. And the one thing about the system also is one of the first console, if not the first console, to come with a hard drive in it. That's the one thing. Another thing Microsoft played very smartly. They waited to see exactly what the PlayStation 2 of all the specs was going to be, and they stepped above and put in a hard drive, which we didn't need any memory card for, which was one of the first things we made it really cool, so you didn't have to worry about losing a memory card or anything like that about the system. But I've heard over the years that people have had troubles with the drives in these systems too. Not so much the hard drive, but I believe the Samsung optical drive that's inside that tend to go out. This is a launch system here, by the way, which still works. I don't have it plugged up currently, but it does work. But the one thing I always said about the Xbox from Microsoft was a Trojan horse. And what I mean by a Trojan horse, this was a way for them, there was a way for them to get into the system game and find out how to break in the market in more than just a gaming market, because right now, as we all see today, it's just a battle for your entertainment dollar, period. It's about movies, music, any type of download as far as like updating games and stuff all over. And one of the things that we all know about and came to love is Xbox Live. So that's the one thing I have to say I really love about having Microsoft in the video business game. They brought us Live. Live is the standard. I give them that. It's the standard in which if you make a console and you have online services, Live is where you want to be. Well, not where you want to be, but as far as like the standard in which you want to make your service at. Right now, currently, we're dealing with a possible system, a price hike, and not possible, it is. They're raising it to $60, which is not really cool with me, but that's another subject, and I'll probably make another video about my rant or something like that. But back onto the system. One of the other things that came across here while we're talking about the system was one of the things why I accidentally dropped the controller earlier was the controller itself. Right here I have a Duke and I have a Controller S side by side. Now, honestly, I never had a problem with the Duke, even though everybody said it was too big, the system was too large. But I didn't mind the redesign of some of the buttons to make them more accessible than they were before. But I never had a problem. I think I have pretty average size hands for a person here, and I just never had a problem with either controller, you know. But I think when they made it small, it took me a while to get used to it, and I took because somehow after a long play session, my hands become very sore because the controller was super small. Because I guess I had an over grip, or because I was so used to playing with the Duke controller, which was much wider, would allow my hands to relax a little bit more. But it's just one of those things that people I've found over the years still debate over about the controller, which one was the better yet, and which one would you like. I like to see in the comments about that controller issue if there's still an issue where some people feel that the controller S was better, it was better than the Duke. We all know now the 360 is definitely one of the best controllers out there, hands down. I give it credit for Microsoft credit for that also, and it's really cool. And some of the accessories came with that was the DVD player, but you needed the accessory, the peripheral that comes with it in order to play access DVD functionality, which I thought was a bunch of bull. I felt as if that they should have just had it. They should have been able to play DVDs out the box because Sony didn't have a problem with it, and that's what helped Sony sell a lot of systems because of the secondary function of the DVD player. So why should we have to go out and pay extra like $30 just to play DVDs, something we already have? I just felt like, you know, this whole thing about Microsoft saying it's a system first, you know, and then a DVD, you know, second if people want that functionality. It shouldn't have to be paid for just to have something that's a basic function and you need a device to unlock it. It just didn't make much sense to me. But overall, we all know that the service for live, support for live, that is, ended for this system back in April of this year. I pretty much had moved on to the 360 by then, and I wasn't really playing. There was only a few games I went back. It was like Star Wars Battlefront, 2 I went back and played on occasion, but that was pretty much it for me. But, you know, I still hold on to the system. I still got it because nobody really wants it as far as trading and anything. But I think I'm just going to hold on to it for just nostalgia reason because this was I'm thinking that Microsoft really ushered in and changed the game. And I'm glad to have them around, and I hope to see what they do in the future is pretty outstanding. So I want to say thanks again for watching my video and hope to see you soon and keep watching. And as always, keep gaming and peace out to all and happy gaming.